Welcome back. St. Patrick's Day is this Thursday, and we are getting ready for the holiday here at 4.
So this afternoon, Carolyn Piguet from Piguet's Primetime is back in the Air Comfort Solutions kitchen to show us how to make St. Patrick's Day beer and cheddar soup. And as always, Carolyn, it smells good. The finished product looks good too.
Right.
Welcome back, by the way.
Thank you.
How do we get started with this?
Well, you're going to start out basically by doing a little saute. You're going to take some bacon and cube it and then cook that off so you have that bacon fat. To that, we're going to add onions and celery, which is the sweetness, and a little bit of heat with some jalapenos and some garlic. And then we're going to cook that down. And then we're going to add about half of a bottle of Guinness to it. And that's going to kind of intensify that beer flavor, give it a little bit of that richness to that. I've gone ahead and added my bacon to it because I want that to absorb that, and then kind of go from that. From that point then, once we cook this down and reduce this, you're going to simply add about 2½ cups of chicken broth. So that gives you your main body to your soups. And then we're going to add the rest of our beer. Again, you know, being St. Patrick's, we've chosen an Irish.
Just one beer?
Yes, just one. Yeah, just one. You can have the rest of them for your time when you're cooking. And we're using a dark beer because that's going to intensify our flavors. In order to kind of make that a nice bisque almost, we're going to add some heavy cream. I cook with heavy cream in everything I do because I think it's a main component. You know, everything should have cream in it.
Makes it good.
And that kind of makes our stock. And then we'll add a roux to it, which I've already added. And basically, you're just going to take flour and butter and brown it. The darker you make that roux, the deeper that flavor is for your...
I've never heard of a roux before.
A roux is a thickener. It's basically butter and flour. Now you can do it with butter and water. Flour and water, and make a thickener because this is just a little bit of since it has as much of the liquids in it. This will deepen this up. You know, sometimes they talk about jambalaya. They talk about making roux. Roux is basically a fat and a flour.
I'm glad you said something because I was like,
I didn't know it went over my head. I was thinking this is probably common knowledge.
Well, you know, and sometimes we get into situations where, like, you would talk to me about the news. The whole news process, and I wouldn't know how to do it, and you know, everybody's got their own fortes. So then I'm going to finish out, and I'm going to add the cheeses to it, and that's going to finish out and give that flavor. Now, little tidbit here, since we're talking about cooking, we need to always do our own grating on our cheeses because you'll find about commercial grated cheese does not melt near as well. So kind of always just grate your own cheese.
I think you've told us that before.
Yeah, you'll find a much better product for that.
What kind of cheese is this?
This is a sharp cheddar and then a smoked cheddar.
Sharp and smoked.
And I have kind of topped this off with a little bit of smoked Gouda because that's just a creamier topping for it. Now we use the bread bowl, and I use the pumpernickel, and that makes a really good pairing because pumpernickel's a little bit sweet, makes kind of a nice finish. And then we just take a little bit of what we took out of it to make the bowl for the topping. Now if you're having your traditional corned beef, which is a brisket derivative, and cabbage, you can take these little dinner rolls and just make little miniatures.
Perfect. There you go, a meal for you for your St. Patrick's Day. All right, Carolyn, thanks again. You can check out this recipe and others just like it by logging onto our website, news on6.com/recipes.